Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Happy, healthy, whole. Today I want to talk about judgment. I want to talk about and I also want to expound on something I said in one of my previous videos. My video about abusive relationships. Um, it's not right for us to stand in judgment of other people. We have to understand too that we really hold power in our words. Um, and we have to be careful about the things that we say. It's just a sidebar. I remember I had seen someone that I knew where I was out walking somewhere, and I was on my way somewhere. But when I saw them, I stopped and I spoke, and I was like, "Hey, how you doing?" And I just kept on going, going on to my destination because I had not reached my destination. They just happened to be, someone that I saw along the way. And later on, that person had said to me, they were like, when you walked off, after you spoke to me and walked off and you didn't stop and talk to me, I was like, man, I hope she trip and fall. I was like, why would you say something like that? I was like, that is so mean. I said, that is so mean spirited. I was like, I was actually on my way to the hospital at the time. I was like, so I didn't prolong the conversation. I was like, but I did acknowledge you. I was like, that's very, very mean. So just be, I mean, I didn't trip and fall. Thank God I didn't trip and fall. But just the fact that he had said that, and the fact that he felt strongly enough about it to even repeat it to me like later on that day on the phone when we were talking, like he was that upset. I was like, that's odd for you to be that upset about that. I said, I could see if I didn't speak to you at all, if I didn't acknowledge your presence at all, if I was just like being like totally being a bitch and just been like, whatever, I'm on my way somewhere. But no, I stopped, I spoke, I was like, how you doing? Okay. And then I went on about my business. I was on my way somewhere. I was already in, whatever you call it, en route, so to speak. So me seeing him wasn't something I was anticipating on my route where I was going. So just be careful. Just be careful with your words. Um, but it's not fair to stand in judgment of people that are in a particular season, so to speak. It's really not fair to be like, oh, you ain't nothing, you ain't never gonna be nothing. Oh, you're not gonna be able to achieve that, or you're not gonna be able to do that, this, that, or the third. All of that, that's a bit much. And that's standing in judgment of that person. And everybody's journey is not going to be the same. Um, and the way that people achieve certain things is not going to happen the same way, guys. So just because somebody's taking longer, or somebody is not a homeowner by a certain age, or this or that, or what have you, you can't define success the same way for every individual. It's different, and God does things differently in different ways in our lives. So just be mindful of those things. Give people room to grow, give people room to breathe. Now there is a difference with somebody out there, because there have been times where I have given people advice and they never followed any advice. Nothing that I ever said. They were in a bad situation and I'm saying, okay, well, you need to try to do this. And they never put forth any effort to do anything to make their lives better. All they wanted to do was complain about how things were not right or not good for them at that time. Okay, well, after you've done all you can do, then you just have to let it go and let God, and don't concern yourself so much with it anymore, because you can't help someone that doesn't want to help themselves. Now, I also said that I was going to speak on the abusive relationship. I was going to expound on that a little bit. On my abusive relationship video, I made a statement that my mom's abuser and my abuser became one and the same after a while. And what I meant by that was, it wasn't the fact that my father was beating me unconscious or anything like that, but it was his words. It was his idea of me, um, that he was beating me with, so to speak. Um, because, like, he would say things and it would be terrible because it sounded so biblical. And for somebody like myself that doesn't go through the Bible and have it memorized and sit down and read this, that, and the other, I'm taking these words as, you know, facts. And he's like, you're cursed, and the women in your family are cursed, and this and that. But then, like, he'll say that, we live by grace and God has died for our sins. And so I'm like, how can I be under a curse if Jesus came and died for my sins? It doesn't seem like there should be a curse that I'm operating under, so to speak, if Jesus has already taken care of all those things. So I will say this to you. If you find yourself in a conversation with someone and they are somewhat double talking, like they're kind of contradicting themselves within the conversation, I say just go ahead and end the conversation, because they'll have you more confused than you ever were in life, and they'll have you thinking that you're not worthy of the grace of God that everybody speaks of and the love of God, because they will have beat you down before they come back around and try to tell you the good part, instead of just putting the good out there and saying, hey, we're going to pray over this, or we're going to diminish this idea of this or that, so it's just, it's a lot, especially when it comes from um, a relative, and it comes from somebody that claims to be in the Bible and to be ministering to other people on a regular basis. It's a hard pill to swallow when you factor in all of these different aspects of it, and you're like, and you're thinking to yourself, well, they do know more about the Bible than me, so maybe it's right. Maybe it is true. No, it's not true. You're not cursed. So if somebody is putting that on you, or putting that judgment on you, or putting that banner on you, I would advise you to take it with a grain of salt, pray about it, and ask God to release you from any chain that you may have for any negative behavior or any negative things or any negative outcomes that seem to be recurring in your life. And just move forward, because, honey, nobody on this earth is perfect, and the promise that I made to myself to not be in an abusive relationship and then turn around and end up in one. My first adult relationship was actually one. I realized I had been allowing my dad's idea of me to abuse me as well. Have I forgiven him? Of course. Do I sit and wallow in that? No, I don't. However, the devil is busy, and he will circle those ideas around and around in your head. And the only way to get rid of negative thoughts is with positive words. So you have to be able to speak against those negative thoughts and ideas. But you can't drown out a bad thought or a bad idea with another thought or idea. You have to drown that out with words. So you have to find a positive affirmation that you can say when those thoughts start to come to you, to negate that. and watch how it happens for you.